For the most realistic steering system available on the market, look no further than Sim Steering from Leo Bodnar. Designed and hand-built at the home of British Motorsport's Silverstone circuit, it's extensively used by professional driver training centres and race teams including Formula 1 since 2010. The high precision and completely linear response coupled with high strength provides the ultimate in realistic steering force feedback. Visit simsteering.com.
Take your hobby to the next level with a quality racing rig that works great with a PS3, Xbox 360, and a PC. GT Omega Racing Simulator is compatible with a wide range of steering wheels including Logitech, Fanatec, Thrustmaster, and more. The GT Omega is available now worldwide by going to www.gtomegaracing.com.
Good afternoon, iRacers, and welcome to ARL TV. We are here for the Sim Racers Asia Round 2 GT Series. We are at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park this week in the roof track, the McLaren M-Force 12C and in the Ford GT. My name is Lee Thompson, and in the commentary booth today we have Alex Simpson and Mark Noble. Hi guys.
Yeah, hi Lee. Good to be back.
Yeah, good to be back for the second round.
It was an exciting race last week, Road Atlanta. Looking forward to much of the same, I think.
Yeah, we've got a good sized field, so in practice we had 38 people enter the track at some point, so that looks like being a good sized field. Lots of entertainment hopefully for the race.
Yeah, Mosport, or Canadian Motorsport Park, as Canadian Tire Motorsport, sorry, as it's now known. Always an interesting race, some tricky early corners, makes the start very, very interesting. Standing start obviously for this series, so I expect we will see some very, very close race in those first few laps, especially into turn 2. That's always the one that catches people out. So yeah, 35 cars into there is going to be very, very tricky.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of places on the track really that can easily catch these cars out, and we'll go into more depth in those as we get through the races, I'm sure. But even at the beginning of this qualifying session, I'm seeing the cars just struggling to not get in each other's way, not take each other out. I've seen 2 or 3 cars in the last 30 seconds taking each other into the wall. So hopefully these guys can settle down. They've got plenty of time. We've got a 20-minute qualifying session. We're about 5 minutes in now. So yeah, they just try and be patient. Hopefully they'll all have time to get their laps in.
It's interesting. I think we see in some of the chat that there's potentially a few drivers that are going to have to start from the pit lane this week due to the amount of incidents that they got last week at Road Atlanta. So we'll let you know who they are and how that affects them in qualifying when we know a little bit more. But yeah, just like you said, Lee, just looking out there now, it just looks like everybody's just struggling to find some room, find a gap to get a clean lap in. A lot of people going off, a lot of off tracks here and there, and it's yeah, a lot of invalid laps going on.
Yeah, so it's quite messy at the minute, I think, but perhaps they'll all just settle in and calm down a little bit and realise that they've got time to do it. It's a fairly short lap here. We're looking at 1 minute 16s, 1 minute 17s, so at 20 minutes you've got lots of time to get your lap in. Yeah, we haven't quite got the standings or anything available to us at the minute from the last race, so we're not quite sure who it is that you were saying, Alex, is going to end up in the pit lane. We're not quite sure as to how any bonus points affected the standings last week. Anyone that got 0 instants gets a 5-point bonus. Anyone who scores over 15 instants starts from the pit lane, as we were mentioning. So we're just going to really find out that as we go, and no doubt we'll have the standings available to us ready for the next race.
Yeah, Lee, I believe you said you were, did you not run the cup version of the rough round here a week or so ago? And you know, what are the drivers going to be watching out for? Obviously the track, perhaps a little bit more forgiving than the cup version, but nonetheless probably a good judge.
Yeah, you're right. I did a couple of races here in the C-Spec last week, and I jumped into this session as a spectator and went around just in a windowed single screen mode in the track car for a bit. And the main difference between the two is just that there's a lot more corner speed available in this track car. So rides the curves well, carries a lot more momentum going through the corners. So I'm a gear higher in quite a few corners than I was in the C-Spec. But I think the gearboxes are the same ratios. I think I certainly felt pretty similar. Good fun track. Yeah, lots of elevation changes, which always creates interest for the drivers. Cambers, so I mean turn 2 is the worst one, that being off camber and really sucking everybody out to the outside, as well as the sharp double right-hander leading onto the back straight, which got lots of positive camber, but again it's still easy to overcook it and get sucked out wide. Yeah, it's a good fun track. You have a bit of a breather down the back straight, but the rest of it's pretty frantic.
It's going to be interesting to see how the cars match up again. Obviously last week they were very, very evenly matched, and we saw some great racing right up until the final laps. And just looking at practice times, it looks like it's going to be much of the same again. So I don't see any Fords out there this week, which would be a little bit of a shame. But you know, hopefully they'll make a return in future rounds. But I might just not have caught one on camera.
Yeah, maybe one or two out there, but I think you're right. Last week it was pretty even really between the Riffs and the McLarens, which isn't bad for the McLarens really, considering Riffs are the flavour of the month. But as I said before, GTs really weren't there. I mean, the Riffs and McLarens both have the auto blitz system, so they feel very similar with the gearboxes, whereas the Ford GT doesn't. So perhaps items like that just separate them out a bit too much maybe.
Yeah, coming up to halfway through qualifying as it stands, just want to quickly give a shout out to the broadcast sponsors as well as the series as well. So thank you to GTOmegaracing.com if you're interested in a rig, as well as steering wheel stands, things like that. They ship worldwide, so do go check them out, GTOmegaracing.com. And if you're into high-end steering systems, or you need some adapter cables for like Logitech G27, G25 wheels, leobodner.com. And yeah, just to give a quick shout out to the series as well, Sim Races Asia, all the guys helped put this on. Mark Lang especially organises a good portion of it, so big shout out to him and thanks for getting us involved in this as well. Look forward to doing many more in the future. Don't forget to subscribe to us and follow us on the social media as well, so at Apex Racing TV for both Twitter and YouTube, and ARL TV for Facebook.
Well, at the minute, Alex, the top sort of 10 spots or so are pretty much filled by the same faces that we saw at the Sharping last week. So at the minute, Yon is got provisional pole position. He's managed to lap nearly 2 tenths quicker, or a tenth and a half quicker more than he managed in practice. So he's got a nice little buffer at the minute to Darren Yong in second position, with Dongwoo Gang in third, and Dika Maluna in fourth, Fahad Ghafoor in fifth, Funny Lazardi in sixth, Ilham Al-Halabi in seventh, Nathan Vanatiers in eighth, Mod Anim in ninth, and Chandra Jong in 10th. Just in those 10 spots, we've got 1.1 seconds, 1.2 seconds between the drivers, so they're reasonably well spaced out, and it's a fairly short track we're so 1 minute 6 minutes.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what kind of draft effect we have here. I mean, we've just obviously come from the V8 supercars over at Watkins Glen, obviously quite a bit of a draft there, and people were able to stay tucked in, and we saw a previous round as well at Road Atlanta that there's quite a draft available down that back straight, and drivers perhaps were losing 2 or 3 tenths of a second in the first few sectors, but were able to close back up in the last sector really. So let's see if there's it'll be more of that today. I mean, that back straight does lead to some draft in there, but it's not actually as long as you think it is. It looks quite long, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see if guys can break away early, or whether or not we're going to have a few packs start to form.
Yeah, and it's an extremely tricky entry into that back straight as well. Turn 5 and 6, double right-hander leading onto that back straight. Yeah, it's so tough to nail your entry and your exit there. and that's probably going to be key then to being in that draft down straight.
Yeah, it looks like a few of the guys now starting to find that little bit of gap that they need. More time starting to flow in, improvements coming along. We'll give you a rundown of the standings a bit closer towards the end of the session. But as you said, Lee, earlier on, the gaps still look very, very close. I mean, some now under a tenth of a second, so I think we're going to see a lot of individual battles this weekend, and it was something that was picked up on just a nice little love tap going into the right-hander there. But yeah, so we'll try and catch a bit more of the action further down the pack. I know last week it was very, very interesting with the first and second, third and fourth battle, and not much more going on elsewhere, but yeah, hopefully we'll have some racing all the way through the pack this week that we can jump around and get to know some of the drivers just a little bit further down from the sort of like the top 5 or 6.
Yeah, it was a great battle at the front last week, and as you alluded to there, really, Alex, it was a good job it was, because not much else happened. So yeah, no doubt we're going to get to see lots of different faces as we see different people involved in some battles. It's quite a different circuit here at Mosport compared to Road Atlanta, so you may find that people have sort of ebb and flow their form a little bit between the two tracks.
Yeah, I do love the last sector here. It kind of opens itself up for some great racing, some attacking and some defending, and quite often we see guys, you know, too wide for the whole last sector there, trying to jostle for position. So I think yeah, I think we're going to see some great racing. Still a lot of cars going off though, so I'm worried about the attrition ratio for the race. So we lost quite a few guys last week, so just to recap, the guys do have fast tows as well, and quick repairs, so they can get their car back to the pits, they can get a brand new car. They have a maximum of 2. So, but just looking at what's going on out there, looks like there's going to be a few guys that are going to need those. Just coming up to 6 minutes to go. Sport International Raceway, Canadian Tire Motorsport, however you want to do. Aero TV. Alex Simpson, Lee Thompson and Mark Noble here for round 2. Just having a quick look at the weather. Looks like we're running the iRacing defaults today. Just a little bit of cloud cover over there, wind speed very, very low. Ambient temperature up at 26 degrees. Pretty much what we would say is perfect for racing. Having a quick look at the track. As we touched on, 10 turns, just a little about 4 kilometers long. Total of 30 laps for today's race. Just to confirm the weather conditions as we were talking about earlier on. Track temperature 40 degrees, so not too hot. Tyres will be working fine there. We shouldn't see anyone getting too greasy out there unless they just work on that little bit harder.
The only movement so far in the field in the last few minutes has been Mikko Nassi making his way up through the standings. He's up to 8th now. Otherwise, everybody else looks pretty much as they were, certainly in that top 10. Further down, we've got a good close grouping between where are we at 12th and 15th, so all just within a tenth of each other. So in 12th we've got Modanim with a 17.207, and we've got Dongbin Sik with a 17.254. and Chandra Yong with a 261, Riven Yitang with a 364. So all 4 of those just within a tenth or so.
Yeah, let's just see if we can pick up on a couple of drivers right now and follow them for a lap, see if they can improve their times. Board with Dion here. See fantastic race last week, him and Mikko. Looks like he's pulled over, so aborted that lap, just trying to find a bit of space perhaps. Just cruising down the back straight. Yeah, Pixie's spot, looks like he's going to go for it this time by. Let's keep an eye on him for this lap, maybe even jump on board and see a lap of this Mosport circuit. Just rounds turn 1, he's got a bit of traffic, just come out of the pit lane. Just compromises his entrance into turn 2 just a little bit there. Not sure how much time he lost there. Still catches the exit curb in just about perfect there. Tricky little right-hander again. It's just all about getting the power down as early as possible. Again, you can just see the traffic everywhere. Car just got all bent up and out of shape. Spun there. Just a little bit loose through this. Oh, very, very nasty little back end just sort of kicked out there, and that's pretty much that lap done and dusted. Just have a look, see who else might be on. I just jumped on board with P2 Wong as he starts a new lap. I'm not sure, that might have already been an off track there. It was very, very close. Again, looks like Wong's got the same situation everybody else. Car's going off. Just needs a clean lap. Looks relatively clear in front. Kisses the apex beautifully there. Definitely having to manhandle, and that's definitely an off track. So another lap aborted. So you can see even the guys at the top there really struggling to put together a clean lap today.
And it just looks like such a busy track as well, doesn't it, Alex? There's just cars everywhere all the time. So I'm really keep my fingers crossed for a clean first couple of laps, keep most of the cars, if not all of them, running, and then we should have a great spectacle ahead of us.
Yeah, and just very quickly on with Dongwu there, and he looked like his lap's probably been quashed there with a guy just coming back onto the track. Yeah, it does indeed look like he's sort of pulled out of it a little bit. Oh, maybe not. But yeah, so I mean, as we get to know the series a little bit more, we'll know who the guys are racing for, which country they're representing out there. So see the standings, and we'll keep you apprised to what's going on there. And just a shout out to the drivers now, if you want me to put a slightly different club badge on, let me know. I think I'm going to try and organise that for next week, so we can represent your own country rather than just the Asia Club. Nice little touch for the series, so the spectators know who you're racing for. Right, qualifying's just finishing up, Lee. Anyone notably still on a lap out there?
We've certainly got a number of cars still pounding round, so I think we'll give it a moment and see who gets an improvement.
Yeah, last week's
Mikko Nassi's on a quick lap here. He's coming up the back straight.
Yeah, last week's winner. Just to let everybody know, it's very out of shape. Bit him hard on the entry, tried to correct it straight into the wall.
The commentators goes again.
I think that's that. We killed that one off completely there, so sorry to Mikko for that one.
So I think that the last car on a potential lap is going to be Dongbing Sik, so we're just waiting for him to come through the final complex now. And so he crosses the line, and it doesn't look like he improved on his time. Still got a couple of cars driving around, but I'm pretty sure they had already crossed the line when a checkered flag came out, but we'll hang on just for a second to be sure. Alex Chang crosses the line, but he stops before we get there. And Vietnam Choi spins it, just touching the grass on the outside. Right, that is everybody done. So, we'll have a quick run through the qualifying grid then. So, pole position for In Ho Yun with a 1 minute 16.058. In Hyu Sung in 19th, Fuji Satano in 20th, Cheong Soup in 21st, John Mateo in 22nd, Andy Baker 23rd, Duke Lee 24th, Diho Lumba in 25th, Yong U in 26th, Shane Reynolds 27th, Minkan Wan in Han in 28th, Mod Sata 29th, Chang Yun Kim 30th, Paul Rogers 31st, Jin Park 32nd, Deed Kunkaru 33rd, Mark Lang 34th, Azrin Kazman 35th, Lachin Crow 36th, Lim Boon 37th, Noor Hamid 38th, Sing Yun Lee 39th, and Alex Chang 40th. He was the last person to put a time in.
Wow, that is one stacked grid. Going to be very interesting these first couple of laps. Try and keep up with all the action.
Yeah, we'll see in a minute who it is that's going to be starting from the pit lane. I don't see that many cars missing from the, mostly at the front it seems.
Yeah, lights are coming on, revs are building, round 2, Sim Race Asia here at Mosport is go, go, go. Looks like a clean getaway from everybody.
Yeah, Yun holds on to that first position. Second and third slot in position as well, on the front of the clean bike. So far, I'm seeing pretty much everybody getting through turn 1. We've got one a little bit wide onto the grass, but he manages to get through. Everybody else, good job guys, clean through turn 1.
Yeah, I've got a couple of cars just running a little bit wide through turn 2. Often does happen, but no one into the wall even. That's the main thing.
Right, so just interrupt if you need to, Alex, but cars started from the pit lane. Mikko Nassi started from the pit lane. Mick Hwan Han started from the pit lane. Lumba, Rogers, Yun Lee, and John Mateo. So that's 6-7 cars all starting from the pits.
Yeah, a few cars in there. Mikko obviously probably the most notable from last week's race, so he's going to have a hell of a job fighting his way through.
So already the leaders are coming up to complete this first lap. Yun still in the lead in that McLaren, closely followed by Yaron Wong in second, Dongwu Gang in third as they cross the line, Maloon at fourth, Lazardi fifth, Halabi sixth, Kim 7th, Huang 8th, Gafford 9th, and Vanity has 10th, all over the back of Gafford into turn 1. And all contact between the two of them. Gafford just about hangs onto the edge of the track, but then gets to the grass, brushes the wall, might get away with no damage there. Loses a dozen places it's going to be in total by the time they get through turn 2.
Yeah, looks like a bit of front right damage and rear left there as well, so we'll see how that car's going to track after that. We've got somebody else off there as well.
And the leaders are up with back markers as well, I think. So that's just going to cause a loop. Sorry, what's happening here? So Yun, has lost 2 positions on the lap. So I thought they were back markers ahead, but no, he's down to third now. So Wong has taken over the lead, and Dongwu Gang in second.
Yeah, must have just missed something there off camera. Yun just perhaps getting a little bit out of shape.
Yeah, it was coming into turn 3, I think it's going to be. He must just run a little bit wide, I think, up into the grass. Yeah, he does. He has to bail out a bit. 3 wheels on the grass. Just manages to get together. Turn 3. So at the front, just feel like everybody's settling in a little bit now. Everybody's line astern, fairly clean single file. But further back, we've got a car in the grass. It's going to be Young Soup. All spins almost across the track in front of the cars coming by, but just about manages to avoid any further damage, I think.
Mikko Nassi has jumped up to 30th already after what, 2 laps?
And we've got a nice little battle for 20th at the minute. So Modsata leading the little group between King and Kim and Azun Kaman, all battling over that 20th spot. They come through turn 5 and 6, and which one was that? That was Sata, I think, getting caught up, and then that sparked. Oh, just everybody getting tangled up. The track almost completely blocked as the rest of the cars try to come through. I think unfortunately quite a lot of cars ended up getting damaged there just from one slight incident to start with.
Yeah, much as I thought there's going to be a fair bit of interesting racing out here today, no one really sort of breaking away as the times were so close in qualifying. We've got some sort of even gaps sort of forming. Most people staying in some sort of contention with the guys around them. So we've got Kim here, potentially having a little look down this back straight. 7th place, looking for a move to 6th. Halabi. I know that McLaren in front looks particularly racy down that back straight. If anything, pulled away, perhaps just got the draft on the MP412C in front of him.
And Venetiez struggles through the final complex. He went into the wall coming through turn 8, I think, and is recovering back. Well, having lost a fair few places, cuts across the car behind him, just about get away with it. I think he's now going to be in 12th position.
I have spotted a GT40. There is one out there today.
Well, not a GT40, I'm afraid.
4G. I always do that. That's just me wishing it was a GT40, I think. Get the classics in there.
Yeah.
Got one of the Marlboro looking cars.
Back marker in the wall coming up to turn 5 and bounced back across the track and completely wiped out. They disappeared from the screen, completely wiped out one of the lead cars as well. As we've got somebody else now in the wall at turn 5, so
Fuji.
Mark Swan, I think. Sorry, Gafor it was.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Just outbraked himself a little bit, I think, but grazed the wall, perhaps minimal damage. That's the second time, in fact, in the wall already for Gafor.
Yeah, very busy out there today, just trying to keep up with everything.
So back up front, Yaron Wong holding on to that first position still. Dongwu Gang still within a second in second. Ino Yun in third, recovering from his little error a few laps ago. Milana in 4th, Lazard in 5th, Halabi 6th, Kim in 7th, Huang in 8th. Vanatier spins again in 9th position. So that's a third time I think I've seen him make a mistake in the last couple of laps. So that bumps Yong up to 9th, Tang up to 10th. And then 11th is going to be Dongdin.
Yeah, Vanatier dropping now 17th place after that spin, still going down 18th, so everybody's coming streaming past at the moment.
And it's announced as he has manually disconnected.
Yeah, looks like Wong's not going to have it all his own way today. And going from earlier on as well, he seems to be losing contention with the 2 roughs ahead of him. So McLaren had the pace over 1 lap, but perhaps race pace is not quite there.
Yeah, Dongwu Gang had definitely closed a lot in that last lap, so whether that was him getting a storming lap or whether that was Wong just making a slight error,
Yeah,
possibly the first.
was fastest lap that he's done anyway. I'm not sure about. I can't see anybody else quicker. It looks like it was indeed the fastest lap of the race.
It's all over the back of Wong as they come out of turn 3 now, down through the sweeping left-hander as they head up towards then turn 5. And just clipped a little bit too much, I think, of that inside curb on the exit of turn 6, or on the apex of turn 6, so it doesn't really allow Dongwu there to quite get the drive he might otherwise have got, so not going to happen this lap.
Interesting battle from earlier in it. We're watching 4 cars involved, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th. Still very, very tight. We've got a car on its side as well, going into tricky turn 5. Oh! Just got a little clip on the rear end there. Huang just making contact with the rear end, spinning. Not sure who that was.
Zuki Lee is the car that's now recovering. So it looks like he's got a fair bit of front end damage now as well. They look good on the entry. Yeah, look pretty clean side by side, and then just pinched together. Unfortunately, as the circuit tightens at the end there.
Yeah, what was a 4-car battle has just spread right out as well. So we've got about a second gap between them. I think that's one of the issues with turn 5. It's very easy to do that. You get yourself up, you need to turn in. It's a double apex corner, so the guys on the outside have got to turn in at some point, and just like you say, just get squeezed together.
Contact between Fani Lazardi and between Ilham Halabi. On my screen, it looked like a big whole chunk of lag, but that was just from my end looking in. That was again turn 5, just as we were saying. Problem with turn 5 and 6 is that they're so tricky, but they're the most important corner maybe on the circuit because it leads to that long straight, and so people really try and make the most of it every lap.
Yeah, Funny lost quite a few places there, down to 8th place now.
Ooh, and then more carnage on the start-finish line. Ilham Alabi got loose, X in the corner, had a big old tank slapper, caught it, and then collected Kevin Huang, and race-ending damage really for the two of them.
All the places that he had lost there, but he's back up into 6th place after that, so yes, it's almost status quo.
And back up front, we've now got a 3-car battle as Aaron Wong has been overtaken by Dongwu Gang. So Dongwu Gang now in 1st, Yaron Wong in 2nd, and whatever manoeuvre they made really allowed Yon behind to close right up, so we've got back to a 3-car group thing.
Yeah, definitely a lot going on there, and they're starting to come up with more and more traffic, which is probably what we've got, and it looks like Wong wants to get past quickly as well, looking to the outside here.
It's going to be tough to hang around the outside there, and it does. The rear gets loose, he has to back out of it, manages to hang on to the edge of the circuit, drops down to 3rd.
Yeah, Yon through. It's Mr. Smooth there from Yon. You could see him having a look. He placed his car, made sure that he would have the inside line if he just went a little bit deep, and true indeed. He did. Picks up in 2nd place, starting to close in. Perhaps I have to rescind my comment. Oh, as we got that marker off in front.
Just about does well to stick it to the wall as he bounces back.
That's one of the tricky things as well, this circuit with the walls around it. They does tend to funnel traffic back into the racetrack. Just having a little bit look further down. Gafford just half a second behind Fuji at the moment, starting to put the pressure on. Appears to be in the thick of the action today. So we've seen him make contact with the wall twice. The front end of that rough does not look in particularly good order, but still he's panging in pretty decent lap times out there. We mentioned last week, very deep into turn 5. Manages to get away with just a little bit of rubbing. Yeah, I was saying we commented about how hardy these roughs are. You can really give them a bit of bashing, do a bit of rubbing, and they do keep on going. But Gaffer's car looks like it's been in a bit of a war.
When the leaders escape another possible opportunity to have got caught by back markers there, as 2 cars in front collected and ended up in the wall, but thankfully didn't bounce back on track.
Yeah, just see it. To switch back to the camera, just see it in the background. Guys recovering, and another guy off as well. So pretty much as we said, looking at qualifying, the attrition ratio rate even here is going to be very high.
I'm not sure I've seen so many cars come off every single lap that we've seen so far. It's a tricky circuit, but perhaps people just trying to push a bit too hard, treating it a bit too much like a sprint race, like a qualifying lap, and in there for the long haul a bit more.
Yeah, we've already lost quite a few people as well. I'm looking at maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guys already retired.
Blocked badly by back marker now, so Longwood gang just about managed to push past in the entry into turn 1, and all 3 of them just about managed to squeeze through, but really got held up quite a bit in the final corner, but couldn't possibly looking at it. And again, we've got more cars collecting each other.
Oh, that's close.
Oh, just about. Yeah.
Oh, that was close.
So like I said, just every single lap we've got cars, car contacts.
Obviously the guys have got a couple of fast toes out there, but a lot of these are going to be using them all up right now, so I think the second half of this race we'll see a little bit of a quieter circuit out there, and leaders are not going to have to drive. Well, you've got to be so alert out there, not just for your racing line, but what the back markers are doing. You can see how much of a wide berth they're giving everybody out there. Just switch back to Gafford again. He's really starting to put that pressure on Fuji. We've got Andy Baker just a few seconds up the road from these guys as well. And rather interestingly, just behind them now, Mikko Nassi, all the way from what would have been about 45th place up to 13th. Last lap was just a couple of tenths quicker, but that time's soon going to come down. Take that back, he's up to 12th. Looks like with Dongbin, I think, has had a problem out there. We've missed that off camera. Oh, this looks rather dangerous. Gafford just has to, he ducked out to try and make a move. There's a back marker at the inside and has to cut back up, avoid hitting him. Mikko right on the tail of him now as well, so this may just relieve a little bit of pressure for Fuji, because he's Gafford's got to worry about what's behind him, not just what's in front. Still feels the need to go defensive.
Going to be contact again, just about together. It looks like it was going to be too close there, but yes, Sartanu, sorry, just holds on over Gafford for now, but Gafford's going to get a good run down the straight in the draft, I think.
Yeah, I think he's going to get himself through, and looking at the front end of Mikko's car as well, that looked like it's been in the wars too. So
almost 3 wide as they come to the end of the back straight there. Sartanu loses 2 places, Mikko Nassi through as well. There's almost more cars in the pit lane, Alex, than there are currently on circuit.
Well, we did say that this would be a tricky circuit. It's definitely proving that way at the moment.
Lazardi is recovering from a spin at times.
Just having a look, see what else is out there as well. Looks like a battle for 7th and 8th starting to brew as well. Young here starting to put the pressure on Funny.
Oh, Nassi's just heading off.
Yeah, lost a little bit of time, but not a great deal by the looks of it, so held on to that 10th place. Well, we've already reached the halfway point. It's absolutely flown by.
Oh, Mikko Nassi and Sartano just about squeezed past the spinning Gafford just on the penultimate corner as Gafford reverses into traffic, which is always a good choice, and tries to get himself straight back up again and off and away again. Yeah, Nassi and Sartano, they're very lucky to squeeze by.
The car really does look like it's seen better days. Might be worth boxing that in, getting himself a fresh ride. Just waiting for the ticker to update, not quite sure why that's still showing incorrect times. We'll just ignore that. But now, next time by, that'll be accurate. Yeah, just having a little look a bit further down just to see if we can see any other bows. Let's jump on board with Mark. Well, I thought for a minute that he was timing screen jumping all over the place, but one of the drivers in the Ford GT. Very, very busy circuit behind him right now as well. About 1.8 second gap over Young. Got a 3-car battle here, 23rd, 24th, 25th. Very close to each other. Marcus, Dongbin, Cho. Seems no matter where you look, whatever position you're in, you're dealing with some sort of traffic as well. A lot of drivers multiple laps down now, still racing them amongst themselves.
And we've got a spinner leading up towards turn 5, taking out 2 cars in the process. That was Noor Hamid, just lost the rear coming through the first fast.
And it was the leader.
And it was and In Ho Yun as well. I didn't notice it was them coming through. So I mean, we'd seen so many examples already where they're really lucky escaping it, and it was always going to happen at some point. Do you know what, it just I'm looking at the cars. It looks like we're doing a destruction derby, guys. Every single car on that straight is crabbing and has damage in some part of the car.
Yeah, Dongwoo's car, that looks pretty much toast. He's going to have to get it back to the pits. We are halfway through, so we'll be able to get a fresh car quite quickly, get it refueled, make it to the end.
So Jaron Wong escaped that bit of carnage and is now comfortably in the lead, and so his #1 goal is avoid spinning cars. So that puts Malona up into second. In Ho Yun recovering in third. Looks like maybe he didn't get away with too much damage, if any, there. Looks like he's on pace, so he's probably going to move back up into that second position in a minute. And then in fourth, I'm scrolling. Fourth is in the pit lane currently, so he won't stay fourth. Fourth is going to be Riven Tang, nearly half a lap back.
Just keeping an eye on this battle. Covering Young. Starting to put the pressure back on. Remember last week what kind of a position Maluna was in. He managed to do all that hard work in the pit lane, get himself up into the lead, and then had the spin.
Outside. He's going to try and make the move that Sartano couldn't quite do earlier on, I think it was, and he does manage to hang on to that outside and moves back up into second.
Yeah, Maluna there looked like giving plenty of room and actually jumps into the pits. His car as well got a fair bit of damage on the left hand side of that McLaren, so opts to get that come in, get that repaired. And in fact Wong also pitted that lap by as well, so everybody's starting to dive in. Mikko Nassi up to 6th place. Obviously still got a pit. Yeah, we'll try and keep an eye on what's going on. He's in as well this lap. Looks like he got it stopped well before the line. Get himself a fresh motor. Let's have a look, see if the leader comes in this time by. Keep an eye on what's going on and then catch back up as the battles start to form after these pit stop.
And Ilham Halabi overshoots going through turn 5 to turn 6, just about manages to avoid the wall and continues his progress down the back straight.
Young continues. See Wong stopped, but still finds himself in 2nd place. About 25 seconds back, so got a fair bit of traffic to deal with. Not necessarily getting out of the way either, so he'll be getting quite frustrated here. Still actually being blocked, so
yeah. So he looked to make that move through turn 2 there, but the back marker wasn't having any of it. So apparently he's decided that he's going to race for the lead and got a bit squirrely. And Yu Wong was very lucky there not to be caught up in that as well. That was poor driving.
yeah, lap 20 of 30, so just about the 10 laps to go. He still hasn't pitted out there. So Sartano starting to put a little bit of pressure on Kevin. Just a second back after these guys are both pitted. Again, a mass amount of traffic out there. Everybody trying to find their little bit of space. As a pop-up reminder, just makes me jump out of my skin.
And a bit of karma kicks in as that marker that was blocking Wong puts it into the wall on the exit turn off.
Yeah, still Yoon stays out there, so definitely looks like he's going for a very, very long stint.
And then in he comes.
I was about to say, we've already seen some sort of fuel saving exercises go on this morning over at Watkins Glen. Wondered if he was going to do the same, try and eke it out all the way. Decides not. Just see where Wong is right now. Just see where they come out. It's going to be a lot shorter stop. He's got a lot less fuel to put in.
Wong coming down the front straight now.
Yeah, he did manage a 9.6 stop. He's leaving.
So they come out side by side as they come out the pit lane. Wong's going to have the speed and the momentum. Is it enough to get into turn 2? It's not. So Inho Young holds that position. Great job. So considering he was caught up in that incident earlier on and Wong escaped it, how has Yoon managed to make up all of that time back and get in the lead?
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the difference in the stops there, 9.6 seconds compared to 18.9. So, you know, 9 seconds less in the pits. Those few extra laps, a little bit less time. Maybe he didn't take tyres. I didn't have a look to see if they jacked him up.
Wong's got a great run through turn 5 and 6 there, so he might have a little bit of a sniff as they come down the back straight, but the back markers are going to make that a bit more challenging, I think.
It would be easier for the quicker guys if the guys stayed on their line, wouldn't it?
And they get through the back straight unscathed. Back marker calmly moves out of the way, and Ewan maintains that position.
Yeah, these guys quite away from the rest of the field. Luna not able to stay in contention. He lost a fair bit of time in the pits as well.
These leaders are going to have a real tough time in about a lap and a half or so. They have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 back markers all battling away to try and get through them. In fact, -1 on the wall.
Yeah, just going to quickly jump on board with Riven. He looks like he is closing right on the back of Yong here. As I said there, he just dropped back. Just a moment ago he was about half a second behind. Gap up to 1.2 seconds. Keep an eye on that one, see if that closes back up.
So as the leaders come down the front straight, they've caught this group already in front of them now. So this really is going to be Yaron Wong's chance to be making some progress. First back marker does a decent job trying to get out of the way. Yoon loses a little bit of momentum, but you know, nothing too much to worry about. Coming through turn 2, they've already caught now the next little group. And first one again, nice and calm moves that way. Good start. This is fairly promising. 3 more to go. Bad time to be catching these guys now though as they come into turn 5 and 6 here. Might just about be far enough back, not to cause too much of a problem. Yeah, it worked out perfectly. Now we're going to get the toe down the back straight as well.
Yeah, it actually looks like the guy just ahead as well. Just going to move over to the side. Great driving.
Well, that was a lot less eventful than the previous 23 laps suggested it was going to be, so well done to everyone. Leaders 3 nice and clean.
Looks like Andy Baker's coming under a little bit of pressure. 9th place. See, we are going to see a Ford GT possibly take a top 10, although he hasn't pitted yet, so 6 laps to go. Still this battle at the front rages on.
Let's see how he goes this time.
Okay,
It's
Jon gonna hold on to that position now into turn 3. Oh, contact between the two of them. Jon might just sit there and wait and let him back past. Yeah, very good. Nice bit of sportsmanship, doesn't take advantage. Again, that's just all down to the back marker. But yeah, great bit of sportsmanship there from Jon, just apologising and allowing that space back.
Yeah, I think we've seen that twice from him in as many weeks now as well. Last week, you know, he could have easily have had the victory, I think, but he decided to stay behind Mikko after the back marker interfered on the last lap. Once again, just showing that this is a great gentleman driver out there.
Yeah, fantastic to see that. Twice in 2 weeks.
Yeah, it doesn't happen enough.
Inside,
sim racing.
At the end of the straight. So Wong off into the gravel, into the grass, gets it back on track, battle over. Going to be about 4 or 5 seconds between them.
Yeah, it's fortunate he managed to stay out in front of those the back markers behind, so he hasn't got to push past those. We'll see what kind of pace Wong's got now, see if he can close this gap. He's got 4 laps to do it, 1.8 seconds is the gap. I can't see it, to be honest, unless we get some major traffic ahead, but that wouldn't surprise me either. Again, as well, as we mentioned earlier on, trying to cover what's going on a bit further back, but it's battle up the front.
So just having a quick scroll through the field, there's a few little groupings of cars, but mostly they're a lap or more apart. The only other little battle potentially got brewing is between Alex Chang in 19th and Stephen Decade in 20th. They're just within a second or so of each other.
Yeah, 3 laps to go, really drawing in now. Last time by, no real difference between the gap, maybe 1/10 of a second. It's not going to be enough, he's going to need to pick it up about 3 or 4 tenths of a second a lap if he's going to have half a chance of fighting into that last sector. The rest of the top 5 pretty evenly spread out. I say that Dongwoo looks like he's closing in on Kim. So we know how fast he is. He's got himself a fresh car after all the troubles he had with the back marker spinning in front of him earlier. Then the slipstream pulls out. Is he going to get the run around the outside? He's going to have to do it the hard way. He has as well. Brilliant line. Moves himself up to 4th place. Not got long enough to get up to Maluna, but nonetheless I think he'll be pretty happy to finish 4th after what was a race-ending incident.
Good recovery. And then a little battle between 19th and 20th has ended with Stephen Decade going into it.
Yeah, gap at the front down to 1.2 seconds. I said it's not enough. Approaching the final sector. 1 lap to go after this time by. Certainly is the individual drivers' championship's going to go. Yeah, and certainly going to be in a very strong position here with a 1st and a 2nd. Don't want to curse him too much. Did that plenty last week. Still a fair few back markers to navigate. First moves out of the way nicely. Nothing else going on much elsewhere. It looks like Wong got caught behind the back marker there, so any charge that he might have had on the final lap is over. Just got to bring it home now for Yoon, and he's going to take round 2 victory. Gives himself, oh, spinner right in front of him, just not what he wanted. That's the opportunity Wong needed. Definitely going to get a much better run down this back straight. Is he going to pick up the draft and get enough of a run? I'm not sure. Still looks a bit too far away. I think he was giving himself a bit of room to the back marks. He knew he had that gap and he needed to there. He could have very easily been collected in that. Kept his head, kept the distance, waited to see where the car was going, picked the inside line, managed to get back on the power, hold the line, hold the position. Takes round 2 victory here from Wong, who drove amazing in 2nd place. Unfortunately, the pit stop strategy of Young just pipped him to the finish line. Luna coming across in 3rd place.
And that pit stop strategy could have made it a very comfortable victory for Yoon if it had been a little bit more of a less uneventful or more uneventful race than the rest of it.
Yeah, Dongwoo in 2nd, in 4th place. He'll be gutted, but still pleased, I think, nonetheless. Now, Kim, new face, we didn't see him last week, I don't believe. Up in 5th, Mikko Nassi, all the way from the pit lane. I mean, just wow. We just have a quick. Yeah, very impressive drive.
Yeah, he finished 26 seconds behind the leader when he must have started. Yeah, a minute probably getting on by the time he'd left the pit lane, I would imagine.
So the final cars just finished themselves up now. This Man Young again just showing what a great driver he is. Not only outright pace out there, strategically got it absolutely spot on, and not only give back positions when he made a little mistake as well. So true driver, gentleman, deserved victory today. I'm sure he's got the gas to get back to the pits, or if he's just taking it easy. I think he might have run out. Someone give him a push.
Yeah, he's definitely out of it.
So Lee, round 2. This GT Asia, of this, sorry, Sim Racing Asia GT Series, done and dusted. Another fantastic race actually up the front. This is what we want to see more of.
It was certainly an entertaining race, Alex, wasn't it? There was always lots going on. You know, far too many incidents, really. I mean, perhaps some people want to maybe not worry so much about choosing a setup that they think is going to be fast, and maybe just something that's a bit safer and a bit easier to get through the race. You know, that would even help create better racing still when the pack can all stay together and the leaders aren't going to get caught up in the other incidents so much. But from the I wouldn't want to have been in it, Alex, but from the outside, it was certainly yeah, an entertaining race.
Yeah,
right, so we'll have a quick run through the standings, shall we? So, in first position was In Ho Yun, so finishing just 0.3 of a second, on fumes it seems as well, to Yaron Wong in second, and Deacon Luna third. He kept his nose pretty clean, I think, really. We didn't see him getting caught up in too much, I don't think. Dongwoo Gang in fourth, Yongquim Kim in fifth, Mikko Nassi in sixth, Chandra Yong in seventh, Riven Tang in eighth, Andy Baker ninth, and indeed Kunkuro rounds out the top 10. Fahad Ghaffur then was the last car on the lead lap in 11th, Kevin Huang in 12th, Fani Lazardi in 13th, Ilham Halabi in 14th, Fuji Satano in 15th, Marcus Huang in 16th, Paul Rogers in 17th, Alex Chang 18th, Yong Oh in 19th, Dewa Lumba 20th, Stephen Bacade 21st, Mod Anim 22nd, Noor Hamid 23rd, Azrin Kazman 24th, Bitnam Choi 25th, Lim Boon in 26th, Mohammed Noor 27th, Mikwan Han in 28th, Dongbin Sik in 29th, Duke Lee in 30th, Nazarali Pajot in 31st, Mark Lang was 32nd, Sung Lee was 33rd, John Mateo 34th, Chang Yun Kim 35th, Yin Park 36th, Ki Sung 37th, Mod Sata 38th, Nathan Vanitias 39th, Young Soup 40th, Shane Reynolds 41st, and Bill McCaw in 42nd.
As we thought, pretty much attrition there's the name of the order. A lot of guys not managing to finish that race, and I think if you could have got away with a clean race out there, you've done well and got yourself a top 10.
I mean, like I said, a lot of cars not finishing, and they had 2 fast toes as well. So yeah, if there was no resets, I think 4 or 5 cars might have finished. Maybe that might have been about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So just something from an outsider's point of view there. Let's just see if we can just tie that up. Let's keep that race in nice and close throughout the race. Right, we're just going to take a quick break and we'll come back and do some interviews, see if we can get some people in there. We've just got Kevin sat in there at the moment, so just give us a few minutes and we will be right back.
Take your hobby to the next level with a quality racing rig that works great with a PS3, Xbox 360, and a PC. GT Omega Racing Simulator is compatible with a wide range of steering wheels including Logitech, Fanatic, Thrustmaster, and more. The GT Omega is available now worldwide by going to www.gtomegaracing.com.
And welcome back to Aero TV. Alex Simpson, Lee Thompson, Mark Noble here, just bringing you a recap of what was a very, very exciting but very, very messy round 2. Dong, I think perhaps will be gutted actually that he didn't win that.
Yeah. Mosport's a tricky place, and like we were talking about earlier, there's lots of elevation changes, car can get unsettled easily. The walls don't exactly help, because as you said, it always funnels cars back in again. But it's just trying to adapt a little bit maybe to the conditions and where you are, and it's the saying of to finish first. You got to finish, haven't you? So that's always got to be the starting point. But as I said, it was one to learn from maybe.
Yeah, so we just got a couple of guys come in. Let's bring probably Sartano up in a second. That's why we're just waiting for the replay of the start just to come up.
Hello.
And so, welcome back to our post-race of the Sim Racers series, Sim Asia Racers series. We're joined in the commentary booth now by Fuji Sasano. Hi Fuji, how was your race today?
Hey, hi guys. Yeah, I was just talking to the other fellows that for me it's a bit of a mixed feeling, to be honest. I had the pace, I think, to be in the top 10. I started, I think, 20th because I didn't have a good qualifying. But yeah, throughout the race, I think I reached up to top 10. And then, yeah, with a lot of traffic and a lot of back markers, unfortunately, one of them hit me from the back, and I immediately lost, I think, 6 or 7 positions. And in the end, I ended up 15th, which is not too bad, to be honest, but it could have been much better, I think.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. I think it's been the case for a lot of people, unfortunately, in that race, that getting caught up with others. Instance, it's a lot of cars to get on the circuit, quite a narrow track in places. How were you finding the car generally here at Mosport?
I felt that the car was much better handling. I had a good setup, so I was feeling pretty fast and confident compared to the last race. But yeah, we had, I think, 42 or 43 drivers today in such a narrow track. So it was a bit of a challenge, to say the least. And I think this is going to be one of the points that we need to discuss with the organizers. Perhaps to limit the number of racers in a given track for in the future.
Yeah, something certainly worth considering and having a look at. Where's the series going to be at next week, Fuji?
I can't remember, to be honest. Perhaps Brands Hatch. I can't remember. I need to.
Yeah,
check
you're
again.
right, actually. Yeah, Brands Hatch.
Yeah.
So Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit, a great favourite of ours, of course. Pretty much our local track. Have you done much running there before, Fuji?
Yeah, we raced there several times in the last few seasons. So I've also raced there in the iRacing official series. So pretty familiar with the track. I have to say that the first 3 tracks this season for Sim Racers Asia are pretty exciting. So it's going to make for some very good races. So really looking forward to next Saturday.
Good, and we shall indeed see you next Saturday then, Fuji. We haven't seen standings of bits and pieces so far. Do you know how the team standings, for instance, are looking so far for the season?
Yeah, I've also not taken a look at the team standings, so I usually wait until the 4th or the 5th race to really see who's where and who's leading. So yeah, I'll have to check that out also.
Sure. Yeah, no worries. We'll get on top of that for next week, I'm sure. Okay, well, thank you then, Fuji. We shall see you next week at Brands Hatch.
Hey, thank you guys. See you then.
Thank you. So next, I think we should bring in our race winner, In Hyun. Speak to him about his eventful race. Hello, Ino. Congratulations on your race win. I was just saying it looks eventful, to say the least.
Yeah, first of all, I was for my English. I'm not good at English, but okay, I try my best. Anyway, very dramatic race for me, many accidents. I think today race was quite lucky for me.
Yeah, very lucky to escape the several instances you were going through. Yeah, very difficult with all the back markers today. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. They didn't blocking me, but accidents is most of trouble. But anyhow, I saved my time. Oh, well, it's okay.
And we saw a similar incident to last week at Road Atlanta, where just had contact with your competitor, and it was very good to see you just holding back and letting them have a place. In fact, last week it was your competitor getting caught with a back marker, I remember, wasn't it? So a good bit of sportsmanship. Nice to see that you're trying to keep things fair.
Yeah, it's only possible in sim racing, I think. I didn't mean push to Jaren, but I'm sorry, Jaren. Anyway, it's important. I think competition is always fair. Is my motto. So.
Sounds great to us. A good motto to have, definitely. You're at Brands Hatch next week. How are you looking forward to Brands?
Yeah, really many practice in round track, which is Canadian motorsport track, but I think next week is really busy for me. I'm not at home all week, so Brands is, I think, difficult to win for me.
Well, we will look forward certainly to seeing you try Inho. Do come in for interviews again. Your English is perfectly fine. Your interview all good. We shall see you next week.
Yeah, thank you. See you guys.
Thank you. Right, so next let's drag in Kevin Huang. Have a quick chat with him about how his race went.
Yes.
Hi Kevin, sorry to catch you mid-sentence there.
No problem.
Fun race today at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. How was yours?
Exciting for the first 8 laps, and then the rest of it was somewhat boring. I think the first 8 laps I was fighting with Ilham and the Korean guy named Jung Kim. I think he finished pretty well, but I think Ilham spun in front of me and crashed at the last turn before the finish line, and he just bounced back like a pinball off the thing and went right back on the track right in front of me, and I think I did a flip, and it was the worst timing because lap 8 I thought I'd still have hope if it was a little bit later. I can go into the pits and put max fuel and be able to run the whole race without stopping, but lap 8 it was iffy, so I had to run the rest of the race on map 2, which is kind of, I guess, kind of boring because you can't push. It's kind of like a self-discipline exercise. You can't push too fast or else you can't finish. And I was watching the fuel meter for the whole race, and I was just running, I think 118s when I could be doing high 116s all day. So yeah, just letting people by and passing the slower guys, and not too much, except for the last lap where I, like an idiot, I spun in front of Inho, the leader, on the last lap. I thought I was going to crash into him. Luckily, he's a pretty good driver and he avoided me. So yeah.
Yeah, we did not realise that was you at the end there. So no, it was very, very close. You're right, between yourself and Inho. Yeah, I think lots of people are getting caught up in similar incidents, like you said there. Cars spinning in front, bouncing back. It seemed to be the bulk of certainly the middle part of the race, unfortunately. But yeah, well done, getting to the finish.
What was that?
Sorry, what were you going to say?
I was saying, I think other people were complaining about the traffic. There was just too much traffic, and I didn't have any problems at all. It wasn't too bad for me. I just got lucky, I think. Too bad that it was I was actually racing with the people that crashed into me. It wasn't the back markers that ended my race.
And how are you looking forward to Brands Hatch for next week, Kevin?
If it's similar to this, I'm very scared. Brands Hatch is a much more difficult track to pass on, I think. So if there's 40 people there, I think we're gonna have a lot of problems. Hopefully, we'll have some changes with maybe some discussions with the back markers, because I don't think half the people will finish the next race if we have this type of level of driving at Brands Hatch.
Yeah, I think the one advantage that you have is
you're not going to be quite so surrounded by the walls everywhere like perhaps was here. So at least if people go off, hopefully they'll stay off a bit more. But you're right, it might be tough. Okay, thank you for that analysis then, Kevin, and we shall see you, I'm sure, next week at Brands.
Yep. See you. Thanks a lot, Alex.
Right, we've got one more person in the interview channel who we'll have a quick chat with. We will find out when they get here who that is, because we can't really tell from their screen. Hello, welcome to the commentary channel. If you could introduce yourself, because we've got no idea who you might be from your TeamSpeak name. Cool, no worries, that's the end of our interviews then in that case. Thank you very much guys for joining us for this Sim Asia Racers series. Eventful, wasn't it, Alex, at Canadian Time Motorsport Park?
Yeah, I think we always expected a little bit of that. I mean, we touched on it at the start of the race. It's just the nature of the track leads a little bit to that, and as some of the drivers have said as well, the sheer volume of cars that were out there trying to find clean space in qualifying, and the faster guys coming through and things like that. It just sort of opened itself out to perhaps be a little bit scrappy. So we'll see what Brands is like. It's a little bit more open, but it's still quite a tight circuit, and if we have 45 cars again, it could be very similar position, although I think the maximum cars you can get on Brands is a little bit lower than that, so I think it's down in the 30s, so won't be quite such a large grid anyway. I could be mistaken on that one, but nonetheless I still thoroughly enjoyed the race up front. You know, a little bit gutted that perhaps it was that battle for the top three was spoiled just before the pit stop phase, but nonetheless the top two put on a little bit of a show, and that little bit of excitement given to us by Kevin's little spin, as he informed us at the end there, definitely spiced it up, and I thought we might have even had some last gasp ditch attempt from Wong to put it up there. But yeah, great race nonetheless, and I'm looking forward to next week, and yeah, what would be our home track actually, Lee, so yeah.
Yeah, and the official series is also there next week, so there's no excuse for everyone to be getting in, not to be getting in practice, and no doubt some of us will have had a bit of a run there as well, get an idea of the track a bit more as well with the car. Yeah, Brands, as I say, Alex, one of our favourites. Yeah, perfect for a GT car.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, so thank you everybody. Again, thanks to our sponsors as normal, so GT Omega Racing, Leo Bodner and simsteering.com and Sim Garage. Don't forget, again, you can find us on Facebook and on Twitter and all those typical sorts of places. Thank you to Alex for doing all the camera work for all of today. Thanks to Mark Noble and to Luke earlier on as well, joining us in the V8 Sen. My name was Lee Thompson, and we shall see you next week.